This is Zook Island near Detroit on the River Rouge. That's coal, and that erector set there is how they move the coal. They're hauling it off of barges and cooking it into coke to make steel. And I'll just point out, we all drove here in cars today, so this is where the steel came from. And the reason for giant facilities like this, as ugly and horrible as they look, this is the cheapest way we've got to make steel. If you increase the cost of making steel, it increases the cost of your car and makes it unaffordable. So this is the price we're paying. So what we have to look for is replacements for coal. And ways to do this economically that doesn't do this kind of damage to the environment.
This is a picture of the Lakeshore plant, which they tore down a couple years ago, CEI. And I used to work for CEI in public relations, so I got to do tours of all these plants and take public officials. And nobody ever complained after they saw what was being done, but this coal plant took in from southern Ohio 130 coal cars a day. And they came up by the building and they didn't dump it. They opened the bottom of the cars and it fell into a big pit, and then it was conveyed into the furnaces. It was really interesting and very hot in the furnace room. But I just thought you'd like to know how much coal they burned. I could not believe it was that much a day. 130 coal cars, like that one that's being dumped. Right. Wow. And that was in the early 90s. I don't know how much they were. Well, they pretty much closed down the coal plants, and the nuclear plants are in question now. Those are really interesting too. I never quite understood it, even though I went through many, many times. I'm not that technical, but I found this to be interesting. And like you mentioned, the birds in the warm water area, here in front of the plant in the winter, there would be ducks and birds floating around, and the fish would come in there. And they try to be environmental too. The company used to spend $5 million a year hauling driftwood and debris out of the water intakes. And then they got an idea, because they had a lot of land out in Perry that they weren't using, and they set up a big composting facility and got big grinders, and they were grinding all of that up and making compost. And the communities that pick up yard waste take it out there and dump it, and then when the compost is done, the nurseries were buying it. But I don't know how many nurseries are left now, because they seem to be turning into developments or shopping centers. Anyway, it was a really interesting job. And I don't know that they want to give up electricity to be all national. Well, solar. I'm all for solar and wind, even though, this was good. Maybe it's time to change.
So let's find the merganser. Somebody wanted to merganser story. Here. This is like my favorite bird, I think. Red-breasted mergansers.
Yeah, I thought this was great. Just look at those birds. They look contented there. Every feather in place. Here they're in water with ice floating around. It just shows how adaptable they are to their environment. They've been here for millions and millions of years, long before native people came over from Asia. They've been here, and it's one. Although a lot of birds are in trouble, this is one that seems to be doing okay. And They're here all winter, and these, Linda said this was taken in the spring, so these birds are.
The first thaw.
They're-
In the center of yeah, on the Geauga River.
A good place to see these in the winter, if you've ever been to Wildwood Park, right near Euclid Beach there, in the wintertime there's a breakwater, and a lot of them will come right into the breakwater. You can get fairly close to them. It's a great place to look for mergansers and ducks in the winter. But I thought that's great. And these will go north and nest further north. I believe they're cavity nesters. They actually nest in trees, hollow trees.
Can I say something else? I don't mean to steal the program, but when I was a little kid, how about turning around and speak?
When I was a little kid, my father had a friend that had a boat on the lake, and sometimes we would go with him. And I remember one day he took us to the Geauga River in the industrial area, and there were those corrugated walls, and we were up 10 or 15 feet above the water of the river, and I could not believe what that water looked like. So at least the government finally cleaned up the river. That was so horrible with debris and oil and crap, and I backed up. I mean, I was a little kid. I didn't want to fall in it because it looked like you'd go into hell in that thing, in that river. It was so terrible. So that's good. We're making progress, I think.
Yeah. So this was so successful. I'm going to do this again. I learned so much from each of you. It was wonderful. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Linda. It was great to have you here. Everybody keep in mind that I think we still have some snacks in the back and some drinks, so help yourself. I thank you all for your stories. It was wonderful to hear everybody's take on those pictures. What a great idea, Linda. We're so happy to have you. Also, don't forget, we have a lot of information back on our back table, and if you'd like to, take some of the information about joining the group, you're more than welcome. Thank you all for being here, and thank you again to Linda Butler.